Hi, so clearly I chose to do the 5 to 7 minute video presentation. Excuse my voice as I go throughout this. I've had a little cold, so if it gets a little raspy or I lose it for a second, it'll be right back. So for the first prompt is how the course has affected me to think about academic writing and research. The first thing that I would say I want to bring up is the word academic. It's really specific, and it's a lot of using resources to back up what you're saying. So you can say, things that, you have and you feel, but you need to be backing them up. As far as writing goes, I think that I have been able to write more fluidly and work on my analyzing. However, I think that I potentially could have done better in my final paper, but due to the circumstances, it is what it is. But I'm glad that I was able to utilize my resources and to help me gain knowledge with that. Secondly, how was this class influenced or informed of how I see myself as a composer and knowledge in academic spaces? I think that one thing that I learned was discussion board posts can really be formulated in a specific way. I used to just kind of respond to discussion posts, not really paying attention to them. I was paying attention to them, but I would really just, look at it and respond. I wasn't thinking about topic sentences or having a thesis, having a conclusion and an opening and things like that. So I think that that's one way that I have, in that type of academic space where we're in an online setting, and that's pretty much how my entire degree will be. I think that it's important to understand that, yes, just because you're in a discussion doesn't mean that you just get to forget all of the formatting or MLA versus APA, whatever the instructor asks for. I think that it's important to know the difference and to just really understand academic spaces, having good titles when you're citing sources, how to properly cite them, being able to respond to someone. And, even though it's a discussion where it's kind of like talking to people, that's kind of what it's supposed to be mocking, being able to respond to them professionally. So not just being like, hey, Susie Q, I think your thing was totally great, cool. Yep, I thought it was good, bye. That's not what we're going for. In a discussion, you're not just supposed to agree with them or tell them what you liked about their post, but really you want to add and add emphasis on things that if you agree on them, why do you agree on them? What references and what resources can you use to back up what it is you're saying? And then, furthermore from that, what can you contribute to it? So if they are saying something or claiming something, how can you build off of what they're saying? Many times, it's just easy. We really do agree with what they're saying, and what they're saying might be totally right, and there's nothing wrong with it, and everything that they've written backs itself up and has the proof to do so. But we need to be able to bounce off and learn more, because if we're able to add more and learn more from others, then it only enhances our own personal learning, but the others' learning as well, because then they'll be able to see what we have done. And then they might be able to bounce something off of us. I know that in this class I've done that. Looking at someone said, I might not have necessarily written it in the discussion board posts, but definitely thought to myself, like, oh, I didn't think of that. And I've done that in other classes as well. So I think that's really valuable. And then how I plan to take forward and transfer the concepts and skills in this class to other writing contexts. I think that the biggest thing I think I learned with this class is about discussion board posts and how you can make them so much better when you kind of look at them as a miniature paper, even though they're not a mini paper and that's not what they're going for. It's so much easier to develop an idea when you have the thesis and the topic sentences to follow. I hate to say this, but it is an honest answer. typically I get things done really ahead of time, and in this class I just haven't. I don't know if it's because I see that it's English 102, where I'm at 400 level courses, excuse me. Sometimes I kind of think, oh, it's going to be easy because it's a lower level course. And I definitely went into that the wrong way. Fully admit that. So knowing that, I think that any course, I'm not going to look at it and just try to compare it to other classes. I'm just going to try to look at it objectively. And then ways I plan to continue to grow. I think that I need to take more time when writing, and this will allow me to really be able to synthesize and connect ideas, because sometimes I think I have a lot of great ideas, but I don't match them up. And I might have enough on it, or I might analyze enough, but I may not match them up. And when reading a paper, it's really hard because it almost feels really choppy, and it doesn't flow as smoothly excuse me, as I'd like it to. So I think one way is, as I'm going to allow myself to set myself up for success and give myself more time, so that way when it's time to actually do it, I have time to have my ideas, and then the time that I've saved can allow me to connect ideas, maybe remove things that aren't as important or aren't as strong, and then add other things. So overall, I've learned a lot about this class, and I don't know that it comes necessarily from the monsters, but I think that it's come from kind of all of the other unspoken things, such as the formulated things. And then lastly, as far as monsters go, I've definitely opened my eyes, and I've realized, coming from my research paper, the monsters that we create for ourselves. So there are definitely ways to help us learn more about them, and then what we create reveals something. So thank you.